There we are. Hey guys, it's Brian Fleming from BuildingSocialProof.com. As always, we're going to get started. I got some people joining in from Periscope. We got Megan Farrell just joined. Hey Megan, where are you from? Give us a shout out. Got a little bit of hearts going on there. Very cool. Just so you guys know, as always, I am broadcasting out of a little town called Romeo, Michigan, about 30 miles north of Detroit. Hey, from Tampa. Wow. I was going to move to Tampa for a minute and found out I didn't know anybody there, so I ended up not doing it. But hey, I love Tampa. Sarasota was where I was going to go, just kind of live on the beach, so I thought. It was about 10 years ago. But anyway, guys, today what I want to talk about is social media marketing made easy, because I know when I talk to a lot of people, they find it really hard. I just moved there last year. Awesome. Yeah. You know, one thing about Tampa that I found is it's kind of transient. A lot of people moving in and out of that town. Not the case in Detroit. Everybody's moving out. I'm just kidding, of course. But anyways, guys, so yeah, social media marketing made easy. And so you guys know, I put these videos out on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you haven't got into Periscope yet, come on over to Periscope and give it a try. You can come in on these videos, and if you have questions, you can ask. I make Periscope videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I try to shoot them around 4 to 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, depending on how things are going. Had to do it a little bit early today because I've got a Friday wedding to run off to, go figure. But yeah, 3 days a week, and I try to give you guys some wisdom on social media marketing. I've been online since 1996, and this picture behind me is from PC Magazine back in 2004 with a product, PC Tattletale, I made. It's still for sale today. But yeah, I've been at this stuff quite a while, and just kind of got into the social media scene about a year and a half ago. Been on Twitter a long time, but really saw social media as just the total future and just kind of jumped in. So I've learned a bit in that time, and I've talked to a lot of people. I help people with social media too, and I get a lot of common questions, and I see where a lot of people are stuck. So on this scope, I just want to give you some tips for making your social media marketing easier. So it looks like we got some people joined in through Periscope now, so we can get started. So my first tip about how to make social media marketing easier for you is just to, well, let's back up. Let's think about why it's hard, why people struggle with social media, and why it's not easy for them. That's what I really wanted to say. And the reason that it's not easy for most people is that they're overwhelmed, because there's all these social networks and you think you have to be on all of them because you're going to be social media marketing. I have to be on all these channels. That's pretty scary thought right there, having to be everywhere. And the other one is just you don't know what to do, you know? So you're confused about what to even do, so you don't start. And those two things I see all the time. It's confusion. Brian, I don't know what to do. I don't know even where to start, or I kind of do know where to start. And when I'm looking at it, boy, am I completely overwhelmed on what to do. So I'm not even going to start because I'm just overwhelmed. So let's try to break those down, and by doing that, I will have it be easier to do social media marketing. So the first thing you want to do, and my first tip, and I've got these written down, is the one mistake I see people make is they want to do social media marketing for their business. So they run over to YouTube and open an account. They run over to Twitter and open an account. They open an account at Facebook. Maybe they go on Periscope and open an account. They go all over the place and open up all these social media accounts, and then the panic sets in. It's like, holy crap, I don't have enough time in the day to stay up on all these, let alone post to them. And now the overwhelm sets in, where it's like, wow, screw it. It's too much work. It's not worth the return, so I'm just going to stop. Well, the cure for that is really pretty easy. And what I always tell people is just start with one social network. Just pick one and start with it. And when you feel comfortable with it, and how will you know when you feel comfortable with it? You kind of get into a rhythm, and it doesn't feel like it's really taking any time. It kind of starts integrating with your day. So start with one social network, and then when you have that one under control, then move on to the next social network. Do not try to tackle them all at once. I don't open too many accounts at once. Yeah, if you open too many accounts at once, it's just overwhelm. You just get completely overwhelmed by it. So that's my first tip, is start with one. And if you want a good social network to start with, you guys are already on it. I recommend you start with Twitter. And this is going out to the people who are maybe watching this on my blog, watching the replay on iTunes through a podcast if you're out there. You know, if you've never thought of Twitter as a start for social media, think about it. Here's some good things about Twitter that I like and why I started with it first. I heard Twitter was dying. Yeah, you kind of do hear that, and I'll talk about that in a second. But to start with Twitter is real easy. You just open a profile. It's easy to do. And I mean, tweets are easy. Twitter's real easy. You just type in 140 characters and it kind of makes you have to be brief about things. So it's very simple to start with. Twitter also has a lot of automation tools, which makes it great. With Twitter, I spend maybe 10 or 15 minutes a day on it, and I'll give you some of those tools at the end of this scope that you can use to get started with Twitter. But I'd recommend starting with Twitter because it's the easiest one now. I think it was Megan mentioned that that Twitter is kind of dying, and when you do get on Twitter, what they're talking about is you're going to see people are just kind of like spamming out links, right? Because it is automated, people like to spam out links a lot on Twitter. So as you're looking around on Twitter, what you want to do is you want to start engaging people and following people. And that's the trick right there is you don't want to follow someone who's just spamming out links. They may not even be on Twitter. They may have a robot that's just tweeting crap out. You don't want to follow that person. You want to follow someone who's a real person, and you'll know that because if you engage with them, if you reply to one of their tweets, they'll reply back to you. Now you got a real person that you can follow and start engaging with on Twitter. And that's why Twitter is a great place to start. It's easy, it's fast, and you can make a lot of connections on Twitter and make a lot of friendships on Twitter pretty quick. So just for one, I recommend you start there. Where would you go next? Facebook's a good option. We all know Facebook's the largest social network. The thing with Facebook, I've told you guys 100 times, is when you start with Facebook, just be prepared. To really do well with Facebook, you're going to have to get into their ad system. I know that's a little scary, paying for ads, but I'll tell you on the flip side, it is a beautiful thing because Facebook will do everything in their power to make those ads work really well for you, and they know a lot about us. So, you know, when people start signing up to your stuff off Facebook, they're able to look at people and see what they have in common and serve your ad to more of those kinds of people and really help you out. But if you're at the other end of Facebook and you don't want to pay them any money, they're not going to be real nice to you. You know, they're not going to do you any favors to help your business. So just know that about Facebook. Moving on past that, you know, it's really your choice. A lot of people like Instagram and just feel like which one feels better to you is probably the best one. You know, I'm not on Instagram yet because I'm just working on my social networks that I feel comfortable with, and I'm not on LinkedIn yet either. Those are two big ones that, you know, I'll probably get into in the future, but it's just too much for now. Hey, MJT Rent just joined. How you doing? You're joining our social media scope here on how to make social media marketing easy. Okay, so my next tip to make things real easy for you for social media marketing is to come up with a schedule throughout the week on how you're going to do your social media marketing. That helps out tremendously. Things you're going to post. You guys have probably heard this 100 times to make an editorial calendar. Well, guess what? I didn't just 5 minutes ago think I was just going to make a scope on social media marketing made easy. No, it's been on my calendar for 2 weeks. So I knew on this day when I fire up this scope at 4 o'clock, because that's part of my system, I know what my scope's going to be like. So make sure you set up some kind of system, some kind of schedule for when you're going to tweet, when you're going to post, and I'm going to talk about in a second. There's tools that really automate that and make it very, very easy. But just come up with a schedule you can live with. What you don't want to do is be on social media constantly. You want to kind of work it into your lifestyle. When you got 5 or 10 minutes of downtime, you can do a couple things. And automation tools help us do that tremendously. So my last tip is to use automation tools to make social media marketing easy for you. Okay, and here are a couple tools. One of them that I use a lot is called Buffer App. I gotta go. Good tips. All right, we'll see you, Megan. Follow me, and hey, I'll be doing this Monday. We can chat some more. It's good chatting with you. And guys, hey, join Periscope, man. Periscope is awesome because you can ask questions in these things. It's the hot thing in social media for sure. So, Buffer app. Buffer app is great because what it does is you go around on the web and you find cool stuff, right? And then you kind of bookmark it into Buffer app, and then it'll drip it out on Twitter and Facebook when you're doing other stuff. Like I've got a wedding to go to tonight, but you know what? Something will post to my Twitter that I buffered maybe 3 or 4 days ago. You just want to find good content that people like or that you like, just real popular stuff, and post it to Buffer so that it shows up in Twitter, shows up on Facebook, and that it's content around your niche and your market. So use Buffer app. It'll save you a ton of time for sure. Another one that I use is a social media tool. These are all on your phone. Hootsuite is a good one. Hootsuite lets you manage multiple social media profiles. It lets you reply to people and schedule out those replies. So, you know, I'll go into Twitter and I'll reply to 10 or 15 people at one time, but I'll schedule it out so that I'm not flooding people's tweet stream with my tweets. And you can do that with other social media platforms too. So Buffer app is a huge, huge time saver. And then another one, which is just for Twitter only, is called Manage Flitter, which will do things like automatically post to you. It'll find people to follow. It'll find people to automatically unfollow for you. It does a ton of stuff with Twitter. So if you're going to get started with Twitter, I would use Manage Flitter for sure. So guys, those are my tips for making social media marketing easier for you. And hey, if you're just getting started with social media, you feel like you don't have a really good grasp on it yet, just head on over to buildingsocialproof.com. You'll see a page there, and you can get a little program I have. It's an email series. You get some emails, a couple times a week that'll walk you through putting together a really nice social media marketing strategy. And by the end of the emails, you'll have a pretty good understanding of what you need to do and where you need to go. So that's about it, guys. I got to keep this short. Like I said, I'm running out for a wedding. My buddy's getting married on a Friday. Hey, it happens. Whatever. So I'm going to go have some fun. You guys do too. And follow me because I'm going to be doing this again Monday. And I got some other good stuff coming up for you. Talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.